together, seeing with your own eyes the fountain of youth.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please?
I'm starting to miss Gore Verbinski. Picking up with the little tease given at the end of At World's End, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides has Jack Sparrow embark on another journey to find the Fountain of Youth before the dreaded Captain Blackbeard and a woman from Jack's past do. Throw in the British and the Spaniards and you get the convolution we had in the last two movies and my review. Personally, I didn't mind one bit knowing that Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom weren't returning to reprise their characters, but what ultimately put doubt in me for this movie was knowing that Rob Marshall, director of musicals such as Chicago and Nine, was directing it instead. Gore Verbinski's absence is definitely felt throughout the film, but that's not to say Rob Marshall did a terrible job. He managed to pull solid directing for the kind of film this is, but just barely solid enough to that it doesn't even feel like a part of the other movies. It feels like something separate despite the producer's intention to make this the first of another trilogy, which at this point sounds a bit annoying. I personally don't feel like wanting any more Pirates movies after this one, but as long as it's making money, this franchise is going to be here for a while. Everyone gives pretty much the same performance we've seen before, even the new characters like the clergyman Philip and the mermaid who try their best to channel their inner Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. Now, Ian McShane pulled off a really solid performance as Blackbeard, but throughout the first act of the film, Blackbeard is referred to as the most dreaded pirate of them all, the pirate that all pirates fear. But he's got to be the wimpiest, fearful pirate I have ever seen. He does nothing shocking and evil that we haven't seen any other villain in the Pirates films or almost any other film do. I mean, I'm not expecting him to be a Hitler-like character, but I mean, come on. And as for Barbossa is technically not in this film. Hector is. I'll leave you with that. And as sad as it is, despite not being a bad performance at all, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow to me is now becoming the most overrated character from Disney. Barely. Story-wise, it boasts the same aspects the other films did. There's a MacGuffin, if you will, like George Lucas likes to call it, and this time around it's the Fountain of Youth. The British want Jack to get it for them, Blackbeard wants it for himself, and out of nowhere the Spaniards, well, without giving anything away, let's just say they want something else. It was a pretty linear narrative that I was going along with till the end came along. For some reason, I felt that the writers ran out of ideas for the climax and decided to just throw in one loop after another during the last 15 minutes or so. Not to mention there are a number of loose ends that were left hanging, and not in a respectful way. I guess they need an excuse for a sequel. Despite all of these problems, it did have some good visual effects and some other redeeming qualities such as solid performances, like I said, some witty one-liners every now and then, and good pacing with its editing. So I give On Stranger Tides a 7.9 out of 10, which is a C+. It's a solid film, and I know I'm saying solid an awful lot, but there's no other way that I can describe it that may not exactly live up to the majority of a lot of people's hopes, being that this is another Pirates of the Caribbean film. So that's it for my review. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.
Have you been there?
Does his face look like it's been to the Fountain of Youth?
Depends on the light.